Today, I'm sitting with someone many people would call the coach of the coaches. A person who has witnessed paddle grow from something almost invisible to a global sport. David, thank you very much for being a first person on my first video on YouTube. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you to you, Demid. It's always a pleasure to chat and talk a little bit with you. So it's my pleasure also.
Thank you a lot. The first question will be kind of unexpected.
Okay.
And it's a question more personal. David Campos, do you have a dream?
Yes, of course. But I have to say that my dream has been evolved during the year. But my dream always has been involved with paddle. Whenever I was young, I wanted to play as professional. I get it. Whenever I was older, I have different dreams, but all of them in paddle. And now, of course, I have a dream is that see the limits in paddle, and now it's worldwide known, but this a lot of years ago it was totally unthinkable.
That's amazing. Yeah, we are witnessing something incredible. This video will be in 3 parts. We're gonna talk about the past of paddle, about the present of paddle, and about the future. So the first one will be, of course, the past of paddle. I guess you played how many years?
Honestly, I've been playing paddle since I was 4, so 29 years playing paddle, training since I was 6 years old. Nobody knew what paddle was in Spain, so it was quite new sport. And then my whole life competing, training, and starting my career as a paddle coach also whenever I was 16, so more or less 17 years as a paddle coach also.
And how these beautiful paddle rackets that probably were very different to what we have now. How do you remember the time when you hold the first paddle racket, and why was that?
Totally. I started playing paddle because my parents moved into a new neighborhood where it has a paddle court. Normally, the Spanish neighborhood had a tennis court, and this time it has a paddle court. It was like made of stone. The floor, the walls were stone. Also, the fence was soft, where the ball touches and dies, that doesn't rebound. And the rackets has evolved also. I remember that one of my first rackets was one that really, really thin with the edge of the racket was made by metal, so it was super heavy. I was a kid. And my parents didn't know what that the sport was, but there was one neighbor that knew, okay, I know this sport is a new sport. It's growing a lot in the south of Spain, in Marbella mostly.
All right.
It came from Argentina, and the rules are this. And we as kids, we start playing football and everything. And that's how we started playing, guys, discovering the game.
Wow, that's amazing. And I guess you, as I know, you never played tennis before that, so you started like from paddle.
Totally. I'm probably one of the first generation that only played paddle from the beginning.
Okay.
And I always played paddles and trained paddle, never tennis, never nothing of this.
30 years ago, when this game wasn't that popular, when in Spain it was football and tennis, both of these games were like top. Have you felt playing very like unpopular sport?
Totally. It was. I always remember whenever I started competing more. I was world champion in the 14, 16, 18, and in Spain tournaments. I also reached the finals. And whenever you're a kid, other kids ask you, okay, what's the sport you're playing? No, I'm playing paddle. What's paddle? Oh, it's a sport similar to tennis, where there are walls where the ball can bounce, and after the glass or the wall, you can hit it. And I had to explain to everybody what paddle was. There was no YouTube, there was no paddle broadcast, there was nothing. So you have to explain what was. So it was super not very common that people knew what the sport was.
Yeah, that's something interesting to go and explain what your passion is.
So I passed from this to everybody know what's paddle, because suddenly one year, I don't remember when, like 15 years ago, whenever someone asks me, okay, what's the sport you're doing? I do paddle. Do you know what paddle is? Of course, no, my parents playing, my uncle, my girlfriend. It's like, okay, suddenly it changed.
Suddenly it's a global. and we're probably gonna see way more. Coming to what you said you've been competing in under 14, 16, professional, being already like a professional focused paddle player. Do you have some story that you remember, like something very funny, maybe with someone who is now at the top 10, maybe your personal, some story that would bring you back to that feeling of paddle childhood or teenager?
I have a lot of small histories with a lot of teammates, a lot of opponents, and everything. It's true that paddle, whenever I played in this format study under 18, 16, 14, 12, paddle was more social, not as professional as it is now. It's more social. So I remember all the tournament with a special cariño. I don't know how to say that.
The love.
Yeah, I lovely remember, because whenever we were going to the tournaments, it was from Friday to Sunday, and you go there, you play your match, but you stay the whole day playing with another one, looking for a free court for play a little bit, going to watch the match of this one. And the community that was built there was so friendly, so my parents also had a lot of good friends. So it was the perfect environment for a child to discover a game, to compete, and also to be developed like a person. And also one of the matches I remember the most, it was the final of the World Championship under 16, because that year I was not selected for the national Spanish team, but I played the Open. And I played the Open and reached the final against the other two Spanish guys that were in the national team. We were 4 in the final. My partner was also in the national team, and the opponents, the other 2, were in the national team, except for me. And there were my parents, my grandfather, my grandmother, my brother, everybody, and we won that final. So for me, it was like, come on, perfect. I started crying. It was like third set, super hard match, and it was super, super happy, mostly because the family were there. So
wow.
Super good.
That's very emotional. Hopefully you will have some photos to share.
Yeah.
So
I can share with you some pictures that you will see. Okay, so paddle is super old, and I have pictures of this.
Regarding to this long way in the past, have you ever felt that you are done with paddle?
Probably not with paddle, but just with competing. One of the main reasons because I stopped playing professional, it was because I was not happy. I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of stress. I didn't deal really well of that my job depends on the results, and not only of doing my job properly, because if I do my job perfect, I play good, but the opponents do their job a little bit better, it affects me. I also move out of house. It's like independence.
Yeah, got independent.
Yeah, I got independence really young, whenever I was 21 years old, and I wanted to earn in my life by myself. So I paid everything mine. I didn't deal perfectly with depending on the result for this. So it was one moment also with the I was like this, and with the pandemic, I had no sponsors, I had no tournaments to play, I had no trainings, I had nothing to do. And there was the moment where I said, okay, I hate paddle. I cannot watch paddle on TV because I feel in that stress. I have to be there, etc. What I want to do in my life, I want to be happy. I'm not happy now. I love paddle. It's my sport. And during this last month, I'm hating paddle. I have to change anything. And that's the moment I stop playing paddle as a professional, and I look for another professional development.
And then you probably at some of these points you met Jorge Martinez.
Well, I met Jorge Martinez a lot of years ago, with 17 years old. He became I know him even more because he had Mystica with Dai Morales. Dai Morales was my coach, my regional team captain. Jorge Martinez owns Mystica also, and I was sponsored by them. But the moment I started having more relationship with Jorge was with 17 years old. I was trained by him, and also in the afternoons, Jorge started a project called Fundación DAM Foundation, where the best players from 10 to 18 years old in Madrid were sponsors, had a sponsorship, and Jorge was the director of this competition group, and I was their second. I had the opportunity to start like a second, and then after this, my whole life being trained by Jorge and being in learning in the afternoon, or being the second hand of Jorge with this kind of players in the afternoon. So I spent there 7 years training with Jorge, playing as a professional, studying my degree, my master degree, and working as a coach with him. Till the moment I stopped playing professional, and then I go to Jorge for presenting my opinion or what I want to do in the next year with my career.
Amazing. And probably I will have to skip a huge huge, like we will make some jumps, but I guess at some point you became a coach, and then coach of the coaches, and then you coach hundreds of coaches around the world, and me including. Thank you very much. I've been twice past 2 levels, and I learned a lot.
You pass it.
And I passed.
I had to correct the written one, but the practical one, you pass it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so that huge part. And I want to come back. In some interview you said one thing. We are developing, making mistakes. That was your answer on some questions. And I want you to, if you can, remember what was the mistake you made in that part of your life that made you be at this point today.
The mistake, if I see me with 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I would say, okay, don't worry, commit the mistake, because it's the one that are going to make be where you are here. Probably it will be giving a lot of importance to the result of the matches. Like in my life was, if I win, it's okay. If I lost, my whole world fall.
Disaster.
And that makes me not treat as good as I wanted to treat my coaches, my family, my friends, everybody. So I was a person that I don't like it. And I'm not like this. It was because of everything. My focus was on the result. And now the focus is important on the result. But even for the top 1 and top 2, they are not focused on the result. They are focused on the en el rendimiento.
No, Google translated here.
Yeah,
In the like moment, in
probably development as players, as teammates, as opponents, and being a better sportman or sportwoman, and being a better person. If my focus will be more in here, probably I won't commit this. But committing these mistakes, I'm here now with, I would say that I'm now the happiest person on earth.
That's the huge one, because I heard you many times through the year. I know you for a year exactly, and I heard you many times repeating exactly the same thing. Guys, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. You always repeat it like this, but don't forget to have fun. And that's something that I noticed
Totally. Because if you don't enjoy what you do, you're not going to do properly. And I didn't do properly the last year of competition because I wasn't enjoying. Now I think I'm doing well my job because I love it. I love it. I love the coaching coaches. I love traveling to do events. I love expanding padel, or helping to the expansion in padel and the sport I love all over the world. So I'm putting my piece of sun to this, and I love it. And I always wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to work, but I like it.
Amazing. That's exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
Since I started my blog, that's exactly what I feel.
That's like probably because you're going to, and that's why the reason you're going to have success in here.
Hopefully. Coming back to this process of you developing as a coach of the coaches, going to the present moment, and this is a huge part because I heard something huge changed in your life. If you would like to comment it and say it. How is your moment now? What changed, and what is the huge difference? And if you're excited about it.
I'm totally excited. As I told you in private, I'm It's the first year I'm starting to travel, to train and travel with Premier Padel players. I'm going to be the main coach of Manu Castaño and Inigo Jofe, and probably I will help to the rest of the team of the academy that travels abroad to do coaching of other team. My main team will be that one. It's something that is new for me. I did coaching a lot of years ago, but I stopped like this the last 6 years. I did training a lot of time, but I wasn't really involved in the professional training because I wanted, whenever I stopped competing, I wanted to have some years outside of the professional circuit. And as I told you, the last 5-6 years, I developed the international area of expansion in M3. I learned a lot of years ago, 8-10, how to do coaching courses with Jorge Martinez, learning with him. I started doing by myself like 6-7 years ago, and now the last 6 years I've been developing these coaching courses, developing the coaches that are instructing the coaching courses. So created a team of more David García Campos that as Jorge Martinez did with me. And nowadays the international area is big. The events we are working with a lot of different countries, and the team that they are doing or they are able to do coaching courses is quite big. So that's the moment where I can go also to Premier Padel. I will keep focus on the coaching courses and having more levels and develop more internal formation. And also the main focus will be in Premier Padel with players.
That's amazing. I'm very happy for you because when I heard it and I saw that sparkle in your eye.
Yeah.
I saw like, okay,
So
you're making a huge step and sitting now on the bench while like professionals are making their way to the tops. It's a huge step. Another question about the present moment. What I see in the world from different perspectives, what is happening now, for me, every single day, the new information is coming, and I feel more and more that we are having a little bit unnatural growth, that something is like going too fast. Do you feel the same? How is that reflecting with your information?
yeah, that's a good point, but there are some weaknesses. Okay, Padel. Around 10 years ago, we can have adapt if it was going to grow internationally or it was going to be a trend, okay? Nowadays, it's unstoppable. It's the most growing sport in the last 10 years, I think. The numbers for the next 5 years are crazy. United States market is growing. Asia is growing a lot. Africa also is growing, so it's playing everywhere. So there are no doubts. What happened that is such a massive growing that a lot of people that they don't know anything about paddle, they invest in here, in clubs. And if you don't know how to manage or how to fidelize the customer properly, there will be one moment that now, okay, the clubs, and there is the demand is here, the offer of clubs here in whatever country, it's okay. But the moment that there will be the demand will be rising, but the offer will be growing higher. And only the ones who knows how to manage the club will be the ones who will survive to this change a little bit. This happened in Spain 20 years ago. And only the best clubs that they have better fidelized customers, so they have better training, so they have better events, better facilities, better services, are the ones who succeed and they deal with this. And also another thing is that they are not coaches.
Yes.
They are not
No.
coaches. And probably this is going to be the biggest lack in the next 10 years. Because how you create a good coach? How do you think?
Experience and knowledge.
Yeah, and but the knowledge is not just studying.
Yes.
It's just learning by committing mistakes and, okay, doing coaching courses, but practicing. We always say, one of the things we say is like we know more about training, about managing of facilities, about paddle, because we commit much more mistakes than others. Not because we are smarter than anyone. So for having a coach in, I don't know, in China that is 15 years experience training people, it will take time to do. Okay, they are bringing a lot of coaches from Argentina, from Spain, that we are more experienced, but there are not enough people for the whole world.
No.
So that's why it's important. This is the biggest ladder that is going to happen, or we think is going to happen in the next years.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel. And if you guys still here at this point, I would really ask you to put the like and to comment on this video, because that is very, very important for me. As you see, this is the first video, and soon will come much more. And at this point, we're moving to the future, and the future, let's say about 15 to 20 years. What is paddle for you in 15, 20 years as a professional and amateur?
The first thing is I hope to see it, okay? Because I hope to be alive in order to be able to see it, what is going on. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I can tell you what I can expect is paddle to become, or it will be my dream to become the most played sport in the world. And time will say it, but the numbers say that maybe it can be. In Spain, we have a really long tradition in sport such as football, such as tennis, handball, basketball, volleyball, and padel is the most sport played last year. So what happened in Spain? Why not in the rest of the world? So I hope this. Probably, I think it will be Olympic also. Okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, I think it's not quite far, also not quite close, but in 15, 20 years, it will be Olympic for sure. And that's more or less what I think that is going to happen.
What would you say for the future, for those people who are putting themselves in the paddle, like in, let's say, professional paddle?
Mm-hmm.
What would you suggest them in these terms of next 15, 20 years? What is like the most important thing to develop at the beginning to become stable there?
Okay, the idea is that paddle is a big sport. It's not only a game. And also in the professional works we can do, okay, or the professional jobs we can have in paddle are not only paddle player or coach. There are other. It's like content creator in paddle. It's like manager of these facilities. It's like a coach specialized in kids. Is marketing, is the graphic designer, because as paddle will need all of this, okay? But for being or for making any job inside paddle, you need to know the sport. You need, and the more you know the sport, better you're going to do your job. How you know the sport? Playing, receiving training, doing formation, watching paddle, watching videos on YouTube, loving the sport, and entering this small world that now is quite small, but it will be something bigger.
Bigger and bigger. Yeah, it feels like all that is coming, all the new tournaments and all this new people that are coming into paddle. It feels like every day, the more knowledge I get about paddle, the more I understand that I know nothing.
Yeah.
Basically, after receiving this course, a coaching course, and then making a paddle week, which I made already a few times, every single time I come and I'm like, oh wow, but there is so much more to develop. Like I basically realized for myself that I have to come back to the basics and learn little by little again. Become better.
Yeah, paddle is a complex sport, and you did this coaching course with us, and probably you're not going to be a coach, but this will make you know more about the sport, and you will do better your job because you know better. You know a different point of views in paddle.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very important one. Just covering up the exciting future that we have in paddle. Me myself, I don't know also where I will be, but that's I have exactly the same feeling when I wake up. I have this excitement to go and do something about paddle. Doesn't matter what's that. And to finalize our amazing interview that I enjoyed a lot, I will want to ask you seven blitz questions that you will have to answer in the shortest way possible.
Okay.
And the first question will be, paddle is?
the funniest sport ever.
Oh, that's a good one. Second question: the most important skill you need to develop to become a good paddle player.
Understand that paddle is a team sport.
Oh wow,
That's
I
the
didn't-
most important thing.
I didn't expect that one.
But that's the most important thing.
The most common mistakes you see that player makes.
They try to play always for the winner and not playing safe.
That's the basic day.
Yeah, they say, we always say the same, but this is the truth. This is the truth.
Exactly. In your daily game, when you come to paddle court, enjoy or win?
Enjoy and win. But enjoy,
Enjoy now.
of course.
Before, if I would ask you the same
Just
question,
for win, win, or win, or win and win. That's it.
that's a good.
That's not the correct answer.
A great player, it's always a great coach, or a great coach is always a great player?
Not necessarily. A great player can be a good coach. A great player can be not a good coach. A good coach can be also a great player. And a good coach doesn't need to be a good player.
So there is a bit of a room,
Yeah.
for everybody. That's a great one. One piece of advice you would give yourself if you would come back 15 years ago.
Keep enjoying the game and don't focus on the result.
That's a very good one, yeah. And the last question will be, what would you want people to feel when they step on paddle court?
That is so addictive that they cannot stop playing paddle. That's the best feeling they can have, and that most of the people feel.
That's amazing. David, thank you very much for being a first person on my YouTube channel. It's always a pleasure to see you. It's always a pleasure to be with you on the court and off court. And I am very excited for your new step in your career. I'll see you in many Premier Paddles, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And that guy who will cheer on the fan zone for your players and
Sure.
for you too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, David. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks a lot.